And actually, the genie exists. It's inside you. But the bottle, that's your own mind.
You're not defined by your fears. You are defined by the meaning you give them.
And you have the power to lock it inside the bottle.
What was the first moment in your life when fear transformed into strength rather than paralysis?
It was when I was 13. So I wanted to play the piano. And I was only a little girl, and the school was 120 kilometers away. And actually, I had a car accident when I was less than 2 years old. And because of the car accident, I was so full of fear of buses and cars, and I was petrified during the entire journey.
So can you break down why motivation varies so dramatically between personalities?
I believe, and that's what my L.U.C. code system is, that we're driven by 4 different forces. And I compare them to the 4 cardinal directions: north, east, west, and south, news. And once you learn the L.U.C. code, you will experience such huge aha moments. And you can separate your patterns from your true personality. And this way you can transform every weakness into superpower.
A personality trait people misunderstand about you.
Well, I'm very decisive, but I also have the gentleness of the coral and also the emotional awareness of the koala.
One electronic gadget or a fantasy gadget that you'd like to see or invent yourself.
It would be great to have Ariel Vox AI glasses.
And then aliens.
I've never met one. To me, it's not only important to win the war, but also to take my soldiers back with me.
What if the reason you are stuck is not fear, but the misunderstanding of who you truly are? What if procrastination, doubt, and negative self-talk aren't weaknesses, but misaligned strengths triggered by the wrong environment? So today on the Guiding Voice podcast, we welcome someone who has mastered the art of turning limitations into superpowers. Ariel Vox. She's an award-winning author, global keynote speaker, and a brilliant mind behind From Fear to Fears and Crack the L.U.C. Code. So born behind the Iron Curtain, robbed of her voice at 1.5 years old, Ariel rebuilt herself not through luck, but through the intentional redesign of her destiny. And today, she teaches the world that luck is not a random, it is a language, a strategy, and a superpower coded into your personality. And folks, if you're ready to stop doubting your dreams and start doubting your limitations, this conversation is going to change everything. So, are you ready for it? And before that, let us welcome Ariel to the show. Ariel, hearty welcome to Team GV. How are you doing today?
Hi, Naveen. It's so lovely to see you. I'm feeling great. And I love to say, every superhero is just a normal hero until they meet their supervillains. So you have to meet your limitations if you want to become unlimited. And you have to face your weaknesses if you want to turn them into strengths. And you have to decide to stop being a victim if you want to be a victor.
I love it. I love it, Ariel. And folks, today we are going to delve into our conversation on the topic at hand, the silent language behind your personality. So decode it and transform everything. But before we get started, there is an exciting twist as always. Let us tickle our guest brain first. So Ariel, get ready for a surprising rapid fire round number 1. I'm going to ask a few questions, which are nothing but some random words. And as and when I mention a word, you need to respond without thinking much. And if you're ready, let's get started. Are you ready?
Good. Yes, let's start.
I love it. I love the thumbs up. And then here comes the first word, future.
Doesn't exist. Every day is a new today.
Love it. I think that's a wonderful perspective. Okay. Next is universe,
There is one inside you.
leadership,
That's the courage to go into the unknown and carve a path for others to follow with confidence.
Wow. Simply mind blowing. Success.
This is to find yourself, and that's the only way you can find true happiness.
Book.
Book is the magic wand in the hands of an author.
Wow. Love it. Role model.
My only role model is the Ariel of tomorrow, Ariel version 2.0.
Ariel version 2.0. Wonderful. And then aliens.
I've never met one.
Life.
It's my most exciting creation of all.
Luck.
Luck is only when you understand your personality. That's when you can crack the luck code.
My next word is personality.
Personality is a gift. It's your unique fingerprint on this planet.
Wonderful, Ariel. Thank you so much for participating in Rapid Fire Round number 1. There is one more surprise towards the end of the episode, so stay tuned. And before that, thank you once again for being part of our journey in shaping the careers and lives of millions across the globe. And let's get into the mainstream conversation wherein you can respond to my questions in about 1 to 2 minutes each. And let's get the ball rolling. My first main question is talk to us about who is your guiding voice?
Well, many people search for a guiding voice outside. I search for it inside. I do listen to other people, but it's not because I seek only knowledge. I actually seek to find keys that will help me unlock my own understanding of why I'm experiencing life the way I'm experiencing it. There is a story about the genie locked in the bottle. And when you open the bottle, the genie can go out and fulfill every one of your wishes. And actually, the genie exists. It's inside you. It's your own soul. But the bottle, that's your own mind. And the genie is powerful. It can fulfill every one of your wishes, but it's also vulnerable because you are its master and you have the power to lock it inside the bottle. So the genie has to hide inside and be very careful because it has to speak to you in a concealed way through your dreams, which includes night dreams, and through your visions. And remember, never share your dreams with other people because they will try to discourage you because they will see your dream through the viewpoint of their limited perception because dreams are not random. These dreams have been given to you, not to them, because you are the only one who can actually fulfill them. So that's dreams are not accident. They're given to you by design.
Simply amazing. I love the way you put it, and I love the analogy of bottle and the genie. That's so wonderful. And Ariel, talk to us about your success mantra, as in top 3 things that have contributed to your success so far.
Well, if I have to choose just one, it would be this one: overcoming my own fears. Because fear occasionally prevents death when it comes to physical danger. But actually, most of the time, fear prevents life. At the end of life, people don't regret the mistakes they made. They regret the mistakes they did not make because they were scared. That's what they regret. So they didn't have actually opportunity to experience life to fullness. Number two would be understanding personality, and to me that's a key because I'm not a native English speaker, and you are neither a native English speaker. So if you speak your native language and I speak my native language, we will not understand each other, and your audience will not understand us at all. But when it comes to personality, people directly go into their default mode of being themselves. So they speak their own personality languages. But on a subconscious level, if you do that, you cannot be understood properly and you cannot understand the other person properly either. So you cannot feel the connection. Uh, f- just one very basic example. If you have an open body language and I have a closed body language, so if you come to hug me because you have an open body language, to me this will feel like this will be intimidating. To you, it's a gesture of friendship. To me, it's intimidating. But on the other hand, if I have closed body language and you have open body language, you will feel like I'm hard to approach So, how easy is to solve this? By simply adjusting your body language. How easy it is. And number three, you have to be a little bit crazy. Success, the cutting edge between courage and stupidity. I love something Rob Moore says, and it's if you don't risk anything, you risk everything. Because if you think about miracles, miracle is something that is impossible to you. And the point is, you always look for certainty. We always look for certainty to have full control over our lives. But then you don't leave any space for miracles because miracle can happen only when it's truly impossible for you. So you shouldn't be scared. Just live a little bit and trust that miracles will come to your life. That's my philosophy.
Wonderful. Yeah, I also believe in miracles, and yeah, thank you for sharing that. And Ariel, you have said fear is not the enemy. However, misunderstanding it is is the enemy, right? So, what was the first moment in your life when fear transformed into strength rather than paralysis?
Oh, that's a very good question. To me, fear is just a road sign. And beyond any fear, there is a blessing.
Mhm.
But fear is what actually makes you capable to carry the weight of your blessing because every blessing is like a heavy rucksack. You need to be able to carry it. And fear actually reveals what you need to overcome before you're capable and strong enough to carry your blessing. So the first time when I had to transform my fear into strength was when I was 13. So I wanted to play the piano, and I was only a little girl, and the school was 120 kilometers away. And I had to go by bus, which was a 3.5 hour journey every Sunday, and come back home every Friday, which was another 3.5 hours journey. And actually, I had a car accident when I was less than 2 years old.
Oh my God.
And because of the car accident, I was so full of fear of buses and cars. And this was a 7 hour drive to school and back every week. And I was petrified during the entire journey. I was staying and praying, please, God, help me stay alive. Let there be no accident. I was so scared. But my dream was bigger than my fear. So I was ready to risk everything to achieve my dream. And now I can drive, I can be on a bus, on a train, on a ship, on an airplane, and I don't mind because you will never reach the sky if you're scared to lose the ground beneath you. And if you follow fear, you'll be stuck and paralyzed. But only if your dream is bigger than your fear, then you will overcome. Otherwise, you will forever live in a very small world of regrets.
Got it.
There is a good saying, by the way, a ship is safe in harbor, but that's not what ships are made for.
Absolutely, absolutely concur with you. And also, many people have big dreams but small belief systems. So, how do you teach someone to stop doubting their dreams and start doubting their limitations?
Well, the moment you choose to expand on your dream, you instantly already expand your small belief system as well. Because how do you climb a mountain? One step at a time. You just grow as a person and you become the person you need to be to overcome this small belief system. And the problem with belief system is your desire to stay within your comfort zones. And the problem with comfort zone is that they seem very comfortable at the beginning, but then later they just become familiar and not comfortable at all. But when you have two conflicting desires, so one desire is to stay within your comfort zone, the other desire is to go and uh, get your dream, fulfill your dream. One of these desires will prevail. Which one? Whichever is more important to you, whichever you choose. But you can't stay in the familiar and at the same time go and conquer whatever you truly want. You can't do both at the same time, so you have to choose. And you can't chase big dreams and at the same time stay in a comfort zone. It's not possible. Sooner or later, one will prevail. Which one? You choose.
Wonderful. And when we talk about your luck code system, two people can have the same behavior, like procrastination, but for completely different reasons. So, can you break down why motivation varies so dramatically between personalities? What's the underlying reason?
Well, I believe, and that's what my luck code system is, that we're driven by four different forces. And I compare them to the four cardinal directions: north, east, west, and south, news. And these four different forces I reveal through the name luck. So, luck is an acronym, and I've chosen to give them faces, images. I compare them animals because people remember images and stories. They don't remember letters and numbers. So, just to give you a visual, L stands for lion. Lion people are results driven. So, a lion in nature would go and catch the prey. So, their result is very quantifiable. Did they get the prey or did they not get the prey? Did they get the result or didn't they get it? Um, so the reason they procrastinate, lion people, is because their results don't often come fast enough. They want the result right now, immediately. They don't have a lot of patience. Or number two reason is because their prey is not big enough. So a lion would go and chase an antelope, but they wouldn't go and chase a mouse. So a lion person really need to set a big goal. Because if it's a small goal, it wouldn't be exciting enough for them to go and achieve it. And then I'm intentionally showing you this, by the way, because anytime you think what the animals were, you just have to remember the word luck and you instantly remember what the animals are. So U stands for umbrella cockatoo. That's a type of parrot. And what do we know about parrots? They're talkative. They love to be around people, to entertain them. And it's not just any parrot, it's an umbrella cockatoo parrot. Why? Because umbrella means a parrot with an umbrella means big personality, charismatic personality, accessories. Just imagine Marilyn Monroe, this kind of aggressive personality. And also, they're colorful. Parrots are colorful, and every parrot looks different. So they need appreciation, they need validation. Um, they don't like it when someone else gets the glory. And they need color. They don't like routine tasks that are boring. So they don't like anything boring. So a parrot may procrastinate if you give them repetitive tasks
Yeah.
because they struggle to focus. Like you ask me, let this be 1-2 minutes, let it not be 10-15 minutes, right? That's a parrot energy. You want short and fast and quick and color and a lot of changing topics. You want variety. But also I can say parrots are very optimistic and they might think I have plenty of time to achieve it. So that's the reason they might procrastinate until the last moment because they're optimistic and then they think they can make it anyway. And then we have C for coral. Coral, what do we know about coral? It sits on the ocean bed. And it doesn't matter if there are big waves on the surface. The coral always remains calm and peaceful. And that's coral people. They're people caring about peace and harmony and balance. And they really hate conflict. So they love predictable tasks because they want predictability, they want security, they want stability. Tasks that everybody else hates, they love. But they may procrastinate if there are too many challenges, too many changes, if their routine is disrupted. Also, if they're being stressed and if there is urgency, they feel paralyzed. They love comfort. And they might procrastinate if you try to take them out of their comfort zone. So, completely different behavior. Do you see this already? Three people, completely different reasons they would procrastinate. And then we have the koala, that's the K in
Mhm.
luck. So, koala are quality driven people, quality. So, they have to be analytical. They would be excellent researchers. They ask a lot of questions. First of all, they ask themselves a lot of questions. But then they can go on a downward spiral because they're perfectionists. So they might procrastinate because they never feel good enough. They think their work is good but not good enough. And actually, in fact, their work might be better than anybody else's, but they just don't believe it. So that's four completely different reasons why people procrastinate. And by what I described now, you probably can already analyze what is your own personality. And it could be a combination of two, but usually we have one predominant one.
Yeah. Lion is my predominant one. L.
Good. Good. Every personality is good. You just need to know your strengths and
Yeah.
weaknesses so you can overcome weaknesses and move forward boldly
Yeah.
like a lion.
Yeah. Got it. And I think you have done a lot of research on that. And thank you for explaining so well. Moving to the
It's my
next one, Ariel. Like, what is the most common personality misdiagnosis people carry? And how does the luck code reveal who they really are beneath the labels?
Yeah. Well, that's very important actually because every personality has strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
And for example, the lion, they are bold and passionate people. But because they're so passionate, they could be perceived as self centered or not good team players. Or some people might even think a lion is big headed, bossy, controlling, aggressive, harsh. They have big intensity, so they can be perceived as a little bit pushy. And the truth is, they're great problem solvers and they have a big vision. They're visionaries. They also can be critical to others, but that's only because they're firstly critical to themselves. So every energy has to be balanced. Because, for example, is water good for plants? Definitely. But then, if you put the hose pouring water at full capacity, the water will actually kill the plant, right? So, water is good, but only when it's at the right balance. And that's what every personality needs to learn. And if you go to the parrot, parrots are very optimistic, they're energetic, they're loving, but they lack focus. So
Yeah.
they can be perceived as superficial, daydreaming, shallow, immature, lacking discipline as well because they lack focus. So the truth is, they so much search for connection and creativity, even at the expense of looking like a fool. So you need to know your strengths and your weaknesses. Do you want me to tell you also about the coral and the koala? Do we have enough time? Do, do you want to tell me to tell you about the other two personalities, coral
Yes,
and
yes,
koala?
please. Yes,
Yeah?
please. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So coral is easygoing. They're peaceful, they're calm, but they could be perceived as passive or even lazy because they're slow. They can be perceived as indecisive, but this is not because they're really indecisive. Actually, it comes from a place that they want to protect peace. And also, they could be perceived as boring and unmotivated when in fact, they're just more patient than others. And the last one about coral, they could be perceived as compliant. In fact, they're loyal, they're reliable, they're great mediators. So they love to bring stability. But you can see how a positive can be perceived as negative. And then the last one is koala. Because koala are so thoughtful and analytical and detail oriented, they could be perceived as picky when actually they have great attention to detail. Or they could be perceived as negative and moody. But that's only because they can actually see further than other people. They can see risks that other people overlook. And they can be perceived as distant and reserved because they're very introverted. So they look deep inside. And to other people, this may appear like coldness. So they might find it difficult to converse and communicate with a koala. And also because they're perfectionists, they could be perceived as judgmental. But actually, they're first of all perfectionist toward themselves. So it's so important to understand why people are doing what they're doing.
Mhm. Also, tell us about the silent language behind the spoken language. So, what does it mean, and how this hidden code shapes relationships as well as communications?
Well, people say the same phrase,
Mhm.
but there's a completely different meaning behind
Right.
it. Let me give an example, with the phrase, I'm trying. So for a lion, because they're a results driven person, when a lion person says, I'm trying, it means I'm focused, I'm determined, don't micromanage me. I already have a plan, just give me space to execute it. So I'm trying to push through, don't slow me down with your doubts. That's what a lion person is saying. But the parrot is a completely different personality. When they say, I'm trying, they mean, I'm so excited that I'm trying something completely new. Don't distract me, because parrots lose focus very quickly and they lose inspiration as well very quickly. So a parrot is telling you, I'm experimenting, just be patient with me. That's what the parrot is saying when they say, I'm trying. And for a coral, it's completely different because they're peace and balance driven people. So it means to a coral, I'm making a slow progress, but it's reliable. Don't pressurize me, don't push me, don't stress me out. I need peace in order to complete what and go where I'm going to. And then koala, because they're detail perfection driven people, they have to carefully think through every detail. It's extremely important for them. They cannot afford to overlook the details. So for koala, it means I'm trying to make it exceptional, not just okay.
Yeah.
And I need time to find it. So it's so important if you have an employee and your employee says, I'm trying, you need to understand where they're coming from so that you can support them properly.
Got it. Nice, interesting perspective. And many high achievers turn failure into self punishment. How do you help people transform failure into fuel?
Well, actually, in my opinion, that's exactly what high achievers don't do because they're high achievers.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows how to be a winner. Everyone knows how to receive the applause.
Right.
Everyone can win sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
but only the best losers win every time. And here is what I mean. A loser mentality is I either win this time or I lose, but I learn so that I can win the next time. And Michael Jordan is the best example of a loser because he knew how to lose a game and learn from it and become better the next time. So a great winner would be discouraged every time they lose. They will feel that's terrible, that's the end of the game. Whilst the great loser just knows that failure is part of the process. So as long as you don't give up,
Yeah.
after being knocked down, you will keep going because to win is easy. Everybody wins sometimes, but it's only great losers who win every time. Like if you go to the gym. Thank you so much, Naveen. You're so sweet. And then
Lovely. Yeah.
if you go to the gym, your failure today was considered a success yesterday because today you failed at 30 kilograms, but you succeeded at 25. And yesterday you failed at 25. So your failure today is actually considered success if you look from the perspective of yesterday. Your muscles have to break and they don't build up when you are exercising. Your muscles build up when you stop and rest. So when you're exercising, you are succeeding. But actually, when you stop and rest, it looks like you are failing, but that's the time when you build your muscles. So when you reach your limits, you fail, but that's just simply awareness that you have reached your ceiling and you need to push through that so you can go forward.
Also, tell us one simple step which you teach for overcoming negativity and why does it work universally across personalities?
Well, negativity is like a cycle.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thought that provokes a feeling, and the
Okay.
feeling provokes an action, and the action actually provokes a thought, and it becomes like a cycle. And I compare this to the cycle of fire. Fire is also a cycle, and it's hot. It's called hot.
Mm.
H stands for heat. O is oxygen, and T is tree or fuel.
Yeah.
So to have fire, you need heat, oxygen, and fuel. And you just have to remove one of them. You don't have to remove all three, just one of them, and the fire will stop. So
Yeah.
just imagine there is fire in the forest, there is heat, there is oxygen, and there is trees. But if you remove just one, for example, if you remove the oxygen, it doesn't matter that there is heat and fuel. Oxygen will immediately stop the fire. And the same with either. Well, you just have to remove one, not three, just one, and the fire will stop. It's exactly the same with negativity. So we have the energies in these L.U.C. personalities. Lion, lion has a mane, and it looks like fire. The mane of the lion looks like fire, and lion is the fire personality. Then coral lives in the water, so coral is the water personality. Parrot lives in the air, so parrot is the air personality, and koala lives on the tree, so koala is the earth personality. So we have fire, air, water, and earth. And when you have fire, what do you do if you want to calm down the fire? You add some water to it, right? It's simple. That's exactly what you need to do. If your lion energy is too much, you need to add some coral energy. For example, if you have a heated conversation, just take a break. That's the coral energy. Also, instead of drinking coffee, which will fuel your fire, drink chamomile tea that will calm you down. See how simple it is, but you need to have the awareness so that you can plan your course of action instead of going directly into the habit of how you always respond to such situations. If you're coral, on the other hand, because you're water, if you need to heat up with some fire, you need to sometimes force yourself to make a fast decision, which would be the lion energy. So just say, I have 15 seconds, I have to make a decision. That's how you warm the water, right? With some fire.
Right. Got it. Got it. And you also emphasize that luck is engineered, not accidental. So, what is the biggest misconception people have about lucky individuals?
Well, people think that luck is random or accident or fate, but that's not what I believe at all. I believe your body listens to you because you have a body, but you also have a soul. And anything you believe about situation will come true because your body will do its best to prove you right. So if you feel that the situation is good, your body will try to prove you right that this situation is good. But then if you believe a situation is bad, what will happen? Your body will become tense and stressed and scared. And of course, the result will be bad. So everything is about internal belief. It's like planting a seed. And if you plant a weed, you will grow weeds. But if you plant a wheat, then you eat fresh bread. A caterpillar has to die before it can transform to be a butterfly. So if you perceive the dying process as bad, you will do anything you can to interrupt the process. So the results will truly be bad. But then if you see beyond the negative and you see what follows, which is positive, if you can see the positive, you'll do anything to protect the process because that's how the caterpillar will become a beautiful butterfly. So just look at everything with excitement
Yeah.
instead of fear. And I promise this will change your life.
And how can someone identify which superhero costume from the luck code they're wearing? Like, and how do they switch when the life demands something different?
A great question, really. Um, every personality has their natural gifts, natural superpowers, and natural, I call them superhero costumes. And we have all of them in our wardrobe. But the problem is we tend to use only one or maybe two. And if you have an Aquaman costume, but you also have a Spider-Man costume, and you just love your Spider-Man costume and you always wear it at every circumstance, it wouldn't help you when you need to go into the depth of the ocean, right? So you need to learn how to actually utilize all the superhero costumes you have in your wardrobe. And I want to give you a little example with the lion and coral. For example, the lion, and you're a lion, when you set a goal, you become indestructible, literally like Hulk or Thor from the superheroes. You are indestructible. Whilst the coral energy is about peace and balance. And when a coral sets a goal, they so much care about peace and balance that they may not actually not pursue the goal if there is a risk of conflict. So that's why the coral needs some lion energy so that they follow their goal in a way that they will be indestructible. Um, so they need to practice, for example, some assertiveness or set some milestones and deadlines. That's the lion energy that they need to add into their life. They need to stir up their passion and maybe even seek for some external accountability because corals can become very passive. So this would help them. Lion, on the other hand, they are indestructible, but also because they're so focused on the goal, they don't consider people's feelings. So they might get the goal, but actually lose everyone around them because they're so focused on the goal. So they need to slow down intentionally, maybe pause before reacting. If they feel they're getting heated up, just stop for a moment, take a break, drink a chamomile tea instead of drinking a coffee, read how to learn the subtle cues people give you. Because the lion tends to ignore signs in other people, they tend to ignore their frustration. And that's a very simple thing that every lion can do, just pause and observe other people's reactions so that they can actually adopt their fire and passion to a way that other people understand and more gentle ways of expression.
Right.
I hope this helps.
Absolutely. And here comes my next one. In your coaching conversations, what is the most surprising transformation you have witnessed when someone finally understands the real reason behind their procrastination?
Well, you really need to understand where your procrastination is rooted in so that you can actually beat it for good. I had a client and he said he was feeling stuck.
Mhm.
But then during conversation, he realized that he's actually resisting his calling. And because he's resisting his calling, he procrastinates, so cannot move forward, so he feels stuck in life. But the real reason is because he's actually scared of the massive transformation he needs to go through in order to fulfill his calling. So you need to look deep, not outside, you need to look inside. That's how you get clarity, that's how you create a strategy, and that's how you can beat any enemy because you can't beat an enemy you can't see. If you can't see the enemy, it's very difficult. You have to at least hear them. You have to have some kind of knowing what your enemy is. That's the only way you can actually beat your enemy. For example, procrastination.
Got it. Got it. Wonderful. So it has been an amazing and insightful conversation so far, and it's time for the second surprise, which is the second rapid fire round. And if you are okay, let's continue the conversation. And I want you to respond as crisply as possible. So let's get the ball rolling. And it comes my first bullet out of second rapid fire round. So Ariel, if you could have one gigantic billboard anywhere with anything on it, what would it say?
It would be true freedom doesn't come from restriction, it comes from liberation. Restriction is from outside, liberation is from inside. So stop doomsdaying, start living.
I love it. And can you describe yourself in just one word?
A believer.
And one sentence that defeats fear instantly.
Fear is just a phantom wall and between you and your best life. So break the fear and you discover your best life.
Love it. Love it. And dream you once doubted but no longer do.
Well, because of the car accident when I was less than 2 years old, I stopped speaking completely and then I stuttered, so I never believed I could be a speaker, but here I am.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, so powerful. And a belief you want the world to delete.
To delete one um, belief, it would be that personality is fixed. Actually, personality can't be changed once you have awareness who you are, and this gives you the power to actually transform yourself anyhow you wish.
Amazing. A personality trait people misunderstand about you.
Well, I'm very decisive, but I also have the gentleness of the coral and also the emotional awareness of the koala. And this means that to me it's not only important to win the war, but also to take my soldiers back with me. And for this reason, I might choose sometimes not to be stern or direct or demanding because I don't have a need to show that I am the boss. I don't need to show off. But in big corporations, this could be perceived as weakness, indecisiveness, because there are a lot of team politics. I've seen this in real life. And people, unfortunately, often obey if there is fear involved. And actually, I want people not to obey, but to follow with their true heart. And I want to inspire them to follow my lead. And that's what I do in my real
Oh,
life, actually.
wonderful. Your favorite luck or superpower?
Well, have you seen these movies where the superhero just makes a gesture and stops down, or stops time, or slows down time? This is a coral superpower. That's exactly what the coral does. They're so balanced and they
Yeah.
can bring peace and harmony, especially when, for example, the lion brings intensity, they're impatient. That's the negative side. Or the parrot can bring impulsiveness and lack of depth. Koala can bring some heaviness and some fixation on flaws, so they will see all your imperfections. But at such times, coral can actually create a bubble of protection around people they love and actually change the whole situation whilst everybody else is frozen. They can change the situation. That's the
Yeah.
superpower of the coral.
Got it. And a rule of life you refuse to break.
Okay? Never label anything as bad. Even the
Okay.
worst situation will transform into something good if you believe in it.
Got it. What is the worst advice you have ever received?
What other people would think about you?
And the most underrated form of self love.
You have a body and you have a soul, and people so much focus on the body, they forget about the soul. So your soul is actually the one that gets the least of your self love.
Got it. One thing you want our audience to start doing today.
Believe you are special, and there will be nobody else like you ever. Realize how valuable you are so that you can be truly yourself.
Fabulous. And here comes the last one for the second rapid fire round. What is one electronic gadget or a fantasy gadget that you'd like to see or invent yourself?
A very good question for today, isn't it? Well, it would be great to have Ariel Vox AI glasses that allow you to read personality and give you instant clues about what the other person is thinking, doing, why they're doing it. Just assistant, AI assistant helping you read other people's personality so you can adjust and actually help them and communicate on a more natural level.
Super cool. I loved it. And after that amazing rapid fire, let's flip back to the mainstream. So, Ariel, you have worked with thousands of professionals and people across the world. What is the one mindset shift that instantly changes how people communicate, lead, and love?
People spend their life thinking that's just who I am. I'm just shy. I'm just a workaholic. I'm just a perfectionist. I'm just the black sheep anywhere I go. That's a fixed mindset. And you need to break it because once you understand your personality patterns, you can change them. And once you learn the luck code, you will experience such huge aha moments and you can separate your patterns from your true personality. And this way you can transform every weakness into superpower.
Amazing. And Ariel, I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation. A lot to take away and really inspired. And how is your experience being hosted on the Guiding Voice podcast?
Oh, fantastic. I really love your questions, especially the fire round. I've never seen this before. They're just beautiful questions and I love it. I love the energy. Very smart questions. Thank you. Really had a great fun.
Yeah, pleasure to have you. And I wish you all the best and looking forward to hosting you again in the near future. And thank you once again for being part of our journey in shaping the careers and lives of millions across the globe. All right.
Thank you so much, Naveen, for
All
having
right.
me.
Yeah, pleasure to host you. And folks, that was our episode with Ariel Vox. Before we jump into the fun trivia section, we have a quick request. If you have not subscribed to our podcast, request you to hit the follow button and leave a rating and review if you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, or if you're watching this on YouTube, request you to go ahead and hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you get notified on the future episodes. And also, if you have enjoyed the conversation and found it useful, request you to share with at least three of your friends or colleagues who would also like TGV. So thank you so much in advance. And now it's time for us to cruise into the trivia segment. So today we had amazing conversation with Ariel Vox on cracking the luck code. Of course, she was mentioning about four different personalities, okay, related to L.U.C.K. But I wanted to talk to you about the real luck. Okay, so here are a few less known facts. And first and foremost is in Japan, luck can change instantly, and you can leave bad luck tied to a tree. During New Year, people draw omikuji, so which stands for fortunes at shrines. If the result predicts bad luck, they tie the paper to designated trees or wires to symbolically leave the misfortune behind. And it's a spiritual reset button many travelers never know exists. And next fact is about Taiwan. In Taiwan, there is an official charity lottery number that has become a national symbol of luck. Unlike typical lucky numbers rooted in superstition, Taiwan's 539 lottery is government run and culturally iconic. It blends modern public institutions with ancient numerology rituals, showing how deeply luck is woven into everyday life. And the last fact is about Turkey. Evil eye charms in Turkey are not just jewelry, but they protect everything, including babies and cars. And nowadays, we are seeing those evil eye charms everywhere, not just in Turkey, and they have become part of accessories. This iconic blue nazar bead is hung on shop doors or pinned to infants' clothes placed in cars and also worn on the body to deflect jealous energy and misfortune. It is one of the most widely used protective objects on Earth. So these are the three things which I wanted to share. Likewise, if you know any interesting facts related to luck, do let me know. If you're watching this episode on YouTube, you can comment there. If you found it on social media platforms, you can comment there as well. I would love to read your comments. And folks, that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. That's today's conversation. And most importantly, it leaves us with a profound truth. You're not defined by your fears. You are defined by the meaning you give them. And Ariel reminded us that procrastination, doubt, fear, and hesitation are not flaws. They are signals, they are clues written in a silent language we were never taught to read. But once you decode that language, communication changes, relationships change, and motivation changes. Most importantly, your entire destiny changes. So, as we wrap up, ask yourself, folks, what if I'm not stuck? What if I've just been speaking the wrong internal language, right? So this week, look at your dreams with new eyes, doubt your limitations, not your potential, learn your code, and switch your superhero costume. And remember, luck is not something that happens to you, it's something you activate, as Ariel mentioned. So thank you so much for joining us on the Guiding Voice. And if this episode opened a new doorway in your mind, share it with somebody who is ready to step into their fiercest self. So thank you once again. So see you all in the next episode with another amazing guest. Take care. Love you all. Bye bye.